we are going to study about classical genetics. In that, we are going to study about lethal gene. An allele which has the potential to cause the death of an organism is called lethal allele. Okay, ma? So here lethal allele means what? An organism, okay, ma, which has the potential, which is having the potential, okay, ma, which is having the potential to cause death. Death of an organism is called lethal allele. It's called what? Lethal allele. In the year 1907, E. Barer reported a lethal gene in snapdragon. Reported an thing in the snapdragon. Okay, ma? So it is an example for recessive lethality in snapdragon. Okay, ma? There are three kinds of plants. The first type is green plants with chlorophyll. That is, it is represented by capital C and capital C. The second type is yellowish green plant with carotenoid. That is, it is represented as pale green. Okay, and it is having the capital C and small c. The third one is white plants without chlorophyll, and it is represented by small c and small c. The genotype of the homozygous green plant is capital C and capital C. The genotype of the homozygous white plant is small c and small c. The Oreo plants have the genotype capital C and small c because they are heterozygous of the green and white plant. Okay, ma? So when two such Oreo plants are crossed, the F1 generation, the F1 progeny, has identical phenotype and genotypic ratio of 1:2:1.
Green plants with chlorophyll, capital C and capital C. Yellowish green plants with carotenoids are referred to as pale green. Golden or area plants, capital C and small c. White plants without any chlorophyll, small c, small c. The genotype of the homozygous green plant is capital C, capital C. The genotype of the homozygous white plant is small c and small c. The Oreo plants have the genotype capital C and small c because they are heterozygous of green and white plants. When two such area plants are crossed, the F1 progeny has identical phenotypic and genotypic ratio of 1:2:1. One green, capital C and capital C, and two Oreo, capital C and small c, and one white, small c and small c. Since the white plants lack chlorophyll pigments, they will not survive. So, the F2 ratio is modified into 1:2. In this case, the homozygous recessive genotype small c is lethal. Lethal means death. The term lethal is applied to those changes in the genome of an organism which produces effects severe enough to cause death. Lethality is a condition in which the death of the certain genotype occurs prematurely. The fully dominant or fully recessive lethal allele kills the carrier individual only in the homozygous condition. So, the F2 genotypic ratio will be 2:1 or 1:2 respectively. Intergenic gene interaction. Interlocus interaction take place between the allele at different loci, that is, between allele of different genes. Dominant epistasis. It is a gene interaction in which two allele of a gene at one locus interfere and suppress or mask. Mask means hide the phenotypic expression. Phenotypic means the morphological character is hidden by different pairs of allele of another gene at another locus. Locus means each gene is present at a specific position on a chromosome is called as locus. The gene that suppresses or masks the phenotypic expression of a gene at another locus is known as epistatic. The gene whose expression is interfered. If it is interfered by non-allelic gene and prevents from exhibiting its character is known as hypostatic. When both the genes are present together, the phenotype is determined by the epistatic gene and not by the hypostatic gene. In the summer squash, the fruit color locus has a dominant allele capital W for white color and a recessive allele small w for colored fruit. Capital W allele is dominant that masks the expression of any color. In another locus, hypostatic allele capital G is for yellow fruit and it is recessive allele is small g for green fruit. In the first locus, the white is dominant to color, whereas in second locus, yellow is dominant to green. When the white fruit with the genotype capital W and small g is crossed with yellow fruit with the genotype small w, capital G, the F1 plants have white fruits and are heterozygous. That is capital W, capital G, small g. When F1 heterozygous plants are crossed, they give rise to F2 with the phenotypic ratio of 12 white, 3 yellow and 1 green. Since capital W is epistatic to the allele capital G and small g, the white which is dominant masks the effect of yellow or green. Homozygous recessive small w genotypes only can give the colored fruits. Double recessive small w, small g and small g will give green fruit. The plants having only capital G in its genotype, small w, capital G and small g are small w, capital G and capital G will give yellow fruits.
Pleiotropy. Pleiotropy means in the single gene, the single gene affects the multiple trait. The single gene affects the multiple traits and this alter the phenotype of an organism. Once again, the single gene affects the multiple traits. Trait is a character. And this will alter the phenotype of an organism. Phenotype. What is meaning of a phenotype? Phenotype means it is a morphological character or external appearance Okay, ma? So it will change the external appearance of an organism. The single gene affects the multiple trait and alters the phenotype of an organism. The pleiotropic gene influences a number of characters simultaneously. Simultaneous means continuously, side by side. Okay, ma? They will affect side by side, and such genes are called pleiotropic gene. Mendel noticed pleiotropy while performing breeding experiment with pea. Pea is Pisum sativum. The botanical name of the pea is Pisum sativum. Pea with purple flower, brown seed, dark spot on the axil of the leaf is crossed with white flower, light colored seed, and no spot on the axil of the leaves. The three traits for flower color, seed color, and leaf axil spot all were inherited, all were transmitted from parent to the offspring together as a single unit. This is due to the pattern of inheritance where the three traits were controlled by a single gene. Okay, ma? So here the three traits, okay, ma? The character is controlled by a single gene with dominant and recessive allele. Example, sickle cell anemia.